It is the reigning one championship heavyweight title holder, Arjan Bhullar, and he is set to return after more than 2 years away, man. It's finally happening. We're getting there. What's the feel like right now as we're finally getting back to fight week?
Finally, man, finally. Like you said, it's been a minute, but I've been itching. I've been itching the entire 2 years, so I'm happy we're finally here.
I love it, man. So it's Friday, June 23rd. It's one Friday Fights 22, and it's a unification bout, right? We got the interim heavyweight title holder, Anatoly Malykhin. It's a phenomenal matchup on paper, right? You've lost just once in your career. He's perfect so far. This is a big-time matchup. Talk to me about your thoughts on this fight.
Yeah, you said it, man. You said it. He's been doing what he's had to do. Hasn't had a blemish so far. I wouldn't say he's perfect. His record is, but he's got big holes, and we're going to look to exploit them. He's dangerous. He's finished everyone, all that stuff. But end of the day, there's a difference between good and great, and there are levels to this, and that's what I'm excited to show.
I love the way you lay that out. I mean, on paper, I guess it looks like obviously his power, especially early. You're kind of more well-rounded game, especially the wrestling base. I mean, is it that simple? Stay away from his power and do what you do?
You know what? When you boil it down, absolutely. He's like I said, he is dangerous. You have to respect that. But anyone over 200 pounds is dangerous. You know what I mean? I was away. You know what they did? They dressed up this guy. He was the clown for those 2 years, and go out there pretend like you're a champion while the real champ comes back. And that's what he did. He did a good job for that. But this is my belt, my division, and I'm back, and I'm going to show that there's levels to this.
I love it. So I sense a little frustration. I guess you weren't really happy with the fact that they decided to do an interim title.
Not at all. You know how it goes when you're, I'm champ, so you got to get championship pay. So you renegotiate. That's the only time you have some type of leverage, if at all. And that's what happened. And how do they counter that? Every promotion, okay, we're introducing an interim, and you're not, you know what I mean? That's the way it goes. So that, it took a while to play that out. It took about a year, to be honest, which I never felt it would take that long. And I was frustrated all the way through because I'm an athlete. I'm a competitive athlete. I'm in the prime of my life. I want to earn. I want to compete. And sitting out isn't the way to go. And like I said, they dressed this guy up and put him out there in the meantime. And he doesn't know that he was just a pawn in all this. Then we get booked, and then, I had an injury, my first surgery ever. So I had to sit out. And again, I was good to go. I got doctors to write me off 3 months after surgery. They choose to use a full 6 months, which they can extend you for injuries. And here we are 2 years later.
It's wild. You laid it all out, as you mentioned. Contract discussions, injuries. This has been scheduled a couple times. It's been talked about a heck of a lot. People wondering when is this guy. I wonder, are you getting tired of thinking this guy? I mean, on the one hand, I guess it gave you plenty of time to prepare. You could break him down. You could know what's what. But on the other hand, you got to think of this guy over and over as you're going to the gym, as you're getting ready. Are you getting sick of this dude?
Exactly. He's been in my life for 2 years. I want him out. I want him gone. I could have beat him 2 years ago, but we're here. We're going to beat him now. And it's a perfect fight to come back to. He's, like I said, he's done what he's had to do in my absence, and kudos to him. And he's dangerous. He's dangerous with his left hand. He's dangerous with his right hand. 2 weapons primarily. I had Brandon Vera. He's dangerous. He's knocked guys out with his shin, with his knee, with his hands. He's good off his back, and he couldn't do nothing to me. Much more danger there. And I stood up with him for a long time. So, you can say whatever you want. End of the day, I'm slick everywhere it goes, and I can't wait to show that there's levels to this.
I love it. I guess I'm kind of an optimistic silver lining kind of a guy. Is there any positivity maybe in the delays? Because I would say over this past year or so, man, one championship, I feel like it's grown. It's come into the U.S. market. It's got this Amazon deal. I feel like the profile is maybe higher than it's ever been for one championship. So in some ways, is it maybe a benefit that it took till now to make this happen?
I'm a big believer in my life. Everything happens for a reason. And first and foremost, before even that, one of the biggest things and best things that came of this, me and Chatri have a direct line now. Before, I just let my management handle it, and he was involved at the beginning. Then he had, his VP and his lawyer draw it up, which took, several more months because, yada, yada, yada. But me and him are direct now. And because of that, we got this India trip. We got a huge, promotion through IPL. Star Sports is in 800 million homes. I sat down with the CEO out there. We got a plan for this fight, for the next fight as well. Everything's working together. And so more than anything, I'm happy that me and Chachi got things squared away and we got direct communication. And it's been great. And aside from that, yeah, the things that you mentioned as well, it's going to be a higher profile win. He's done what he's done, and he has more success and confidence. And he's going to come in with that. And he's got more eyeballs on him. And we got more eyeballs in the product with Amazon Prime. There's talks of expansion to new markets before the end of this year. So, all of those things, I think definitely it's good, great timing to come back. And it will be a bigger win now than it would have been 2 years ago.
I agree. Sometimes things come together in a way we don't expect. Hey, you touched on India. I want to ask you, obviously you've always championed your culture, your heritage, and tried to bring the sport there and just grow awareness. How is it going there? Is MMA catching on? Is it building? Years ago, I remember the UFC talking about trying to do the Ultimate Fighter, and it kind of fizzled out. But I know that's been a market a lot of people have targeted. Is the sport catching hold there?
Well, look, I remember that. Lorenzo had a press conference out there. He had Benson Henderson, a few of those other guys. I was excited. Let's go. But, in my free agency, that was, again, I got an offer from them, and I had a frank conversation. What are your plans for India? And they were not. They didn't follow up with that. They built a PI in Shanghai. They have, priority markets in Mexico, Middle East, which is fine. One Championship has a deal with the biggest broadcaster in the country, 800 million homes worldwide. They've got cricket on the broad. Whoever has cricket is king in the country, and that's why we were able to get the cross promotion with IPL. When I went out there, it was great. It was phenomenal, and they're all in. Again, I went down there. I sat down. We had a group discussion. Then I had a private 20-minute conversation with the CEO. So they're all in, and I couldn't be more happy. And you know what? The fan base is very excited. My goal after this fight, one thing remains. We need a live event in India. That is my goal, to bring that live event to the ground now. They have a couple of regional shows which are doing good things, but they need a world-class promotion with a world champion to come on the ground, and I think that's the last missing piece. We've got the best broadcaster. We've got the best promotion. You got a champion. Let's get on the ground now. I think that's the missing piece.
I love that. I love that idea. And man, the country couldn't ask for a better representative than you to kind of help bring this all together. I imagine that's a card that you want to be in the main event, like regardless of who's there, regardless of what's happening, you got to fight on that one.
Absolutely. Who else? We're going to India. I got the gold. That's my cage. Bring them on. Doesn't matter. I'm the main event. Even if they didn't put me in the main event, I'm still the main event. That's who the people are going to come and see.
I love it. Well, first things first, as we said, Friday, June 23rd. It's one Friday fights, 22. Victory there. RJ, what else? You got this India passion. That sounds like a beautiful idea. But what else? Are there other things on the checklist? Are there other opponents or the things you want to do? Or is it really, India is priority number one?
No, India is definitely priority number one. We already have a tentative other date in mind. I don't want to throw it out there right now because Anatoly's first. But this second opportunity would be massive. So I'm excited. It's just extra motivation, extra purpose through camp, through this fight. On the backside, I'm excited to sort of announce that with the company and everything. So that's the priority. I'm excited to see these other markets, plans for the U.S., plans. I hear whispers of Doha. Huge Indian population in Doha, big Indian money out there. People don't know that. We were a big part of the World Cup out there. So I'm excited to see what transpires there. And also, within all of that, I don't know if you've seen recently, we had a great chat with Bret Hart. I'm a big pro wrestling guy. He's agreed to mentor me in my transition. And I see your boy CM Punk is back. I got my eyes on him. He's on Collision. I'd love to collide with that guy.
I love it. Well, I'll see him this weekend and put in a word. I imagine that he likes those challenges, man. So that is great stuff. Well, Arjan, exciting, man. It's been far too long. You've been away for too long. I know you had business to take care of. I'm glad it's settled. And now nothing but big things. It starts Friday, June 23rd. Who doesn't like heavyweight MMA, especially with you two guys going at it? It should be great. Looking forward to it, man. Best of luck, and we'll definitely be watching.
Absolutely. We'll not go to the final bell. I'm going to put them out. Tune in. Star Sports, Amazon Prime, wherever your broadcast partners are, tune in, and it's going to be a show.